Good evening and welcome to News Channel 8. I'm Jerome Aegean, and here's some of the top stories we have for you tonight. The EPA responds to the toxic odors as school closures again on St. Croix. Golden Grove stabbing leads to lockdowns, and your entertainment report with BOGO. These stories and more up next on News Channel 8. In our top story tonight, the EPA is now solidly investigating the toxic odors that no one is claiming responsibility for. News Channel 8's Wes Small files this exclusive report.
Thank you very much, Jerome. We're going to get right to it. We all know that what's been happening the last 72 hours or so, just to keep you updated, schools from Charles H. Emanuel all the way to the complex canceled today. Complaints coming in from DPNR. Also, VIPD overnight, 911 flooded with calls of toxic gases, nauseous odors. Right now, and your name again, sir, is?
Angel Rodriguez.
Angel Rodriguez from EPA. This is a News Channel 8 exclusive. We are here in front of Diageo. Sir, I know we're still embryonic. What's going on with your testing? Please tell us what you know so far and EPA's involvement.
Yes, we have basically been investigating these incidents since the past 2 days. As you know, we have been here now since the major incidents that took place with the refinery here. But at this time, all of our investigations having to do with offsets within the past 2 days don't really point out to our biggest neighbor here, Hovensa. So we're still looking. We're in the process now of visiting another neighbor.
Diageo here.
Diageo specifically, because they do have a process where they might generate odors that are similar to what we heard. And again, they're upwind from all these schools.
Well, in that note then, we really appreciate you helping us. Our children has missed a whole week of school, a vulnerable time. They're only 2 weeks away from graduating and moving on. Plus, all night long, 911 switchboards were taken. And I have to tell you, the entire St. Croix community is besieged by this mysterious odor. I have to tell you this, that they have said that it's not Hovensa and it's not Diageo. Well, folks, guess what? It has to be one of the two. Has to be Diageo or Hovensa. Someone is putting out toxic odors and putting that effect in this community. With that, we appreciate the help from the Environmental Protection Agency. After he leaves Diageo, yes, sir, he's going to the schools, Charles H. Emanuel, all the way to the complex. So if you see these guys on the road and they look lost maybe, they need your help, please help them out in the system any way that you can, because they're here to save our lives. At Diageo, let's hope that the EPA can get to the bottom of this, because the locals can't. I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
Thanks, Wes, for that report. And we want to thank the EPA guys who allowed us to do such a rare and exclusive report. And there are investigations from different sides on this toxic tale, as newly appointed environmental watchdog Alicia Barnes, commissioner of DPNR, also looked in on Hovensa for a response to this incident, which has caused school closures. We hear from her now and her findings later this afternoon.
I did meet with the members of Hovensa's leadership team to include their Chief Operating Officer and President John George, the Vice President of Operations, as well as Ms. Kathleen Antoine, who is Director of the Environmental Department. And Hovensa has in fact confirmed that at 1:45 a.m., that would be on Friday the 13th of May, they did have an upset at the facility that resulted in the release of product into one of their internal lagoons. The vapors from that release prompted several odor complaints that we have fielded throughout the early mornings, well into mid-morning and afternoon, resulting in the closure of several government offices and schools. In meeting with Hovenza, they did in fact indicate that they have isolated the problem and they are implemented corrective measures to include applying foam to minimize the vapors.
And we want to thank Commissioner Alicia Barnes for her statements tonight. And that is the latest information we have on the toxic case. We'll bring you more information as it develops. And in other news tonight, violence in the Golden Grove prison has led to a serious lockdown at the Juan Louis Hospital. News Channel 8's Wes Small files this report.
Thanks a lot, Jerome. Well, we had two high-profile detainees, and I want to emphasize that word, detainees, that were injured in a fight, a very violent fight, yesterday. Now, that involved 30-year-old Edwin Encarnacion. Edwin Encarnacion, no stranger to the media and to the community. Remember, he literally held the community and as hostage for hours, charged with 2 murders. Remember that? Looking at a picture of him now, hopefully there, he didn't come easy. He was involved with another suspected murderer, Dwayne Woodruff. Remember that? We believe he is a suspect in the Alec murder that happened in Frederickstead recently. 28-year-old Dwayne Woodruff, looking at his picture here, hopefully. These men were involved in a violent altercation involving a shiv, better known or as a homemade knife, and that prompted yesterday a lockdown at Juan Louis Hospital that we have not seen since the days of the execution of 28-year-old Shadrach Fret. Remember him? Fret was killed in 2008 in May by assailants in his bed in Juan Louis Hospital. Carefully orchestrated and calculated murder. Those men or women, whoever it was, never brought into custody. A lot of people believe they never will. Well, there you have it. Now we know why Juan Louis Hospital was locked down yesterday for several hours. A CO, a correction officer, also involved as he tried to break up that altercation between Edwin Encarnacion and also Dwayne Woodruff, 2 suspected murderers waiting for their trial. That correction officer, fortunately, was just hurt in his hand. None of those injuries are life-threatening. We also understand that one or possibly both of those inmates have recovered from their wounds and possibly back at this facility. Who knows? We do know one thing, though. Problems continue here at Golden Grove Correction Facility involving fights and stabbings among inmates. At Golden Grove, I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
Thanks, Wes, for that. And when we come back from this break, your Caribbean Report plus Bogo's Entertainment Report. That's all coming up your way on News Channel 8. Stay with us.